Imagine a world without Google. No Google Maps, no Gmail, no YouTube, no Android. Today, Google is an unstoppable empire. It is worth over $2 trillion and controls almost everything we do on the internet. But what if I told you that in 1999, Google was almost sold for the price of just $1 million? The founders of Google actually went to a rival company and begged them to buy their search engine. They were desperate. They just wanted to sell it and walk away. And incredibly, that rival company looked at Google, laughed at the price, and said no. This is not just a story about a missed opportunity. This is the story of the worst business decision in human history, and how one single word, no, accidentally created the biggest tech giant on Earth.
To understand how someone could reject Google, you have to understand what the internet looked like in 1999. Back then, the internet was a messy, confusing place. The undisputed kings of the web were called portals. Companies like Yahoo and Excite were massive, cluttered websites. They wanted to be the only page you ever needed to visit. They shoved everything into one place: news updates, weather reports, email, stock prices, and games. Their entire business model was very simple: keep people trapped on their website for as long as possible. The longer you stayed reading their news or playing their games, the more flashy banner ads they could show you. And the more ads they showed you, the more money they made. It was a giant digital shopping mall, and Excite and Yahoo were the biggest landlords in the world.
At the exact same time, two college students at Stanford University named Larry Page and Sergey Brin were working on a completely different idea. They were computer science geeks, and they thought the portal idea was terrible. They wanted to build a map of the entire internet, so they built a search engine called Google. If you looked at Google in 1999, it looked like a mistake. It had no news, no weather, and no games. It was just a blank white page with a single search bar. But under the hood, it was a beast. Its only goal was to give you the exact answer you wanted and get you off their website as fast as humanly possible. It didn't trap you, it freed you. And because it was so fast and so accurate, it became incredibly popular. Word spread across the Stanford campus and then across Silicon Valley. Millions of searches started pouring in. It started crashing the university's servers. It was taking up all of their time, burning through their savings, and becoming a massive problem for two guys who just wanted to finish their college degrees. They had built a monster, and they didn't know how to feed it.
If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, please support us by dropping a like and subscribing to this channel. By early 1999, Larry and Sergey were exhausted. They didn't want to run a global business. So, they made a decision. They were going to sell Google. They managed to secure a meeting with George Bell, the CEO of Excite. At the time, Excite had millions of users and millions of dollars. They were untouchable. Larry and Sergey walked into the boardroom. They pulled up their simple, blank white web page, and they offered to sell the entire Google algorithm to Excite for $1 million. George Bell tested it, and he wasn't impressed. In fact, he hated it. He told the two students that Google was actually too good at its job. He explained the harsh reality of 1999 internet business. If Excite used Google's technology, users would find exactly what they were looking for instantly, and then they would leave the website. If users left the website, Excite couldn't show them banner ads. It would completely destroy Excite's business model. To George Bell, efficiency was the enemy.
Desperate to make the sale,
an investor stepped in and talked Larry and Sergey down from $1 million to just $750,000. They offered the deal again. $750,000 for the entire future of the internet.
George Bell looked at the heavily discounted offer, and he still said no. He kicked them out of his office. That single rejection changed the course of human history. Because Excite refused to buy them, Larry and Sergey had to figure out how to make money on their own. They knew they couldn't use big, annoying banner ads. That would ruin their clean white page. So, they invented something entirely new. They created small, simple text ads. But there was a catch. These ads only appeared when people searched for specific, related words. If you searched for running shoes, you only saw tiny text ads for running shoes. They called this system AdWords. It was an absolute stroke of genius. Advertisers happily paid massive amounts of money because the ads perfectly matched exactly what users were already looking for. Almost overnight, Google built a money-printing machine. By simply helping people find what they wanted, Google became the most valuable middleman in history.
Fast forward to 2002. Just 3 years later, the tables had completely turned. Google was no longer a college project. It was a global phenomenon. And their biggest rival, Yahoo, suddenly realized they had made a terrible mistake by underestimating search engines. Yahoo wanted Google. So Yahoo's CEO, Terry Semel, arranged a meeting with Larry and Sergey. Just a few years earlier, the founders had begged to be bought for less than $1 million. Now, Yahoo offered them a staggering $3 billion to buy Google. Larry and Sergey looked at the $3 billion offer. They didn't blink. They calmly looked at Yahoo's CEO and told him the price wasn't $3 billion. The price was $5 billion. Yahoo refused. They thought $5 billion was way too much money. So, Larry and Sergey smiled, packed up their things, and walked away. The two college kids who once begged to be bought had just rejected the kings of the internet.
While Google was busy conquering the world, the giants that rejected them were falling apart. When the famous dot-com bubble burst, the old portal business model completely died. People didn't want cluttered websites anymore. They wanted fast, accurate answers. In 2001, just 2 years after refusing to buy Google for $750,000, Excite filed for bankruptcy. Their massive digital empire turned to dust. And Yahoo? They slowly bled out over the next decade, completely crushed by the company they refused to pay $5 billion for. These CEOs tried to protect their short-term profits. They tried to protect sinking ships. And in the process, they threw away the winning lottery ticket of a lifetime.
Today, Google makes that original $750,000 every few seconds. They didn't just win the search engine war. They redefined how humanity accesses information. And the companies that said no, they are nothing more than ghost stories told in Silicon Valley. A brutal reminder that sometimes the biggest mistake you can make is being blind to the future. Subscribe to Corporate Files for more videos uncovering the untold stories behind the world's biggest companies.